Welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. I wish I had some better news for everybody, but things in the last 24 hours have definitely taken another step in the wrong direction. We will update you. We had red hot producer price inflation today, and we have a tax now on what would they call upline infrastructure. In other words, hitting oil and gas fields in Iran, Israel bombing the southern gas fields, Iran now saying they are going to, everything's in play. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, all the other production facilities has energy prices skyrocketing. The bond yields are skyrocketing. The markets are selling off. Obviously, just more opportunity to load up on gold and silver because this is, again, all the oxygen being sucked out of the room here. But we'll see how this ends. Everybody better buckle up. I know gas prices here in the Valley rose another 10 cents last night. $4.79. I think we'll be at $5 by this time next week. I'm just hoping it'll be low $5, but everybody better hang on. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. Of course, it is Wednesday. We always do Iskander updates, or Texas coin, sorry. Well, they're the same thing pretty much. Updates for everybody. We will do that as well. A lot of good news. The price, 21 cents. A week ago was at 15 cents. So it's kind of starting now to go in the correct direction. And, again, I think there's a lot of room there, below $1. We'll see how it goes. This is probably the first sustained rally we've seen in quite some time. Lawyer-wise, things seemingly getting better by the day. Yesterday, the SEC put out even more guidelines, and none of it was bad for Texas coin. Actually, most of it was basically the SEC said, if it's crypto, it's not a security. We do have a court date. It's a little later than what we would have liked. We are hoping for, maybe sometime late June. It is right now scheduled for August 17th. Still hopeful there's a chance. We'll see that they'll, I think in the next couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, we're filing a bunch of our stuff, the evidence, all this stuff, and there's a chance that the judge overseeing the case may say, there's nothing here, throw it all out. But as it sits right now, that is the latest updates on that. Everybody can get into Iskander with the exception of the state of Texas. That is still there. The good news is we found out some more stuff on their, suit. They're not asking for fines or penalties. They're just saying, hey, stop. Let's figure it out. So they want to make sure, okay, let's not do anything to upset them, but there are no penalties, at least that the state of Texas is looking for, as long as we don't violate the cease and desist. So that was another positive thing. I guess as far as suits go, there really wasn't a lot of teeth in this. Of course, it sounds bad, and it was, cease and desist and fraud, but it once you dug into it, looks like it's going to be a pretty minor thing. Obviously, we got some issues in the Middle East. Token 2049 has been canceled. That was supposed to be in Dubai, along with, remember, we were sponsoring that event. We are also sponsoring a yacht party, a polo event, all surrounding that. They're all canceled. The Tate brothers, the Tate brothers, they're big in Dubai. That was one of the reasons we were bringing them on for those events. And we're still talking to the Tate brothers, but things have changed because Dubai is essentially shut down, and what can you do, right? We'll regroup and figure out what the next steps are. There was some issues. There's been some issues for the last 3 or 4 days with payments. Some of us got way more coins than we should have, like 2-3 days ago. Some people have gotten none. The good part is tomorrow, I think at tomorrow's payout, it should be all resolved. Everybody will end up after tomorrow right where they're supposed to be. There is an issue. We're bringing everything into, one eco space. And there was a little hiccup in doing that. We'll talk more about that as well. But when we get back, I want to go into what's happening in the market, what went wrong today, and then we'll follow up towards the end with more Texit. Stay with us. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason on this Wednesday. Remember the Fed, we've got them later after the bell. Jay Powell, I'm pretty confident that rates are going to be right where they are, be held up. We'll see what they say about the war and inflation and everything else. Right now, the Dow is down about 400 points. The S&P down 31. The Nasdaq's down 100. Colby had the 5-ounce silver bars. The bonds. Sorry, I was talking to Jason. The bonds 4.23 on the 10-year note right now. Crude oil, like we said, higher today. We've got. I don't even know if these prices are valid. That's the problem. Right now, NYMEX crude, $99. That could be right. We've got lots of oil. Oil inventory reports, right? We're producing a lot of oil. The problem is that oil can only be refined in so many places, and then after that, I don't want to say it's useless, but what do you do with it? Brent crude, $109. Unleaded gas was up 13 cents yesterday, up another 10 cents today, almost now to $3.25 wholesale. Here's the problem. I'm seeing everywhere that prices being paid cash, right? In other words, hey, I need some oil today, right? It's great that you say April crude NYMEX is $99, right? That's wonderful. But it's March 18th. I need it right now. It's great that you say Brent crude is $109 for May. That's great, but I need it right now. $150 is what I've been hearing today. If you need to pay for sour grades or heavier grades of crude oil, $150 is the cash price. So keep that in mind. when we think about how expensive things are going to get. Gold down $120, 48.85 right now. $20 gold piece, man. Great time to get in. I'm working on a special. We'll have that before the end of the show, so stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. Silver down $234, about $77. U.S. Silver Eagles $17.75. Yesterday we were $17.95, so really didn't hurt you too much today if you bought silver yesterday. And again, guys, I'm just telling you, back up the bus here. Back up the bus here. The money print, it's already started. The war's just sped it up. But this thing is going to end. Is it going to end in April? Is it going to end in May? Is it going to end in June? I don't know, but it's going to end. What isn't going to end is how much money they're going to be printing. And the fact of the matter is, I don't give two craps how bad inflation gets, and it got bad today. They're going to lower rates this year because they have to. Just keep that in mind. We did get wholesale inflation today. So this has come out. Then again, remember, we're going to get the Fed meeting, in about 4 hours. So this is known data, and it came in way higher than expected. Now, remember, this is the producers. Okay, so this is what they're saying inflation is at their level. And, of course, as we know, if the producers are paying more, they pass that on. And then how much of that gets passed on to the consumer. But it came in at 0.7% month over month. That's just not a, annualize that, you're talking Joe Biden inflation. And I want to point this out, guys. This was February. This is no energy effect in this whatsoever. Matter of fact, when you take out food and energy, what they call the core, up 0.5%, much higher than what they were expecting, about double what they were expecting year over year. So over a 12-month, 3.4%. That's the headline. The core, 3.9. So almost 4% when you take out food and energy. Because remember, I was telling you, energy was helping in February. So how bad is the March number? I'm afraid, right? I mean, obviously, this is nowhere near 2%. By the way, the big increase in service cost, this is the worst kind of inflation, because what they were saying, what the producers were saying was, hey, this wasn't a spike in energy. This wasn't even necessarily a spike in labor. This was a spike in pretty much all the components that we need. Everything costing more. And this is, I guess, hardwired inflation, right? You can't write this, what they reported, you can't write it off. As soon as this ends, then it'll be better. Good prices, rose 1.1% month over month. That'd be over 12% inflation. Jeez. So, by the way, the index for fresh and dry vegetables up 50%? Really? Wow. So, and again, remember, this is producers. That was kind of that was the first leg. The second leg had to do with a report that U.S. and Israeli fighter jets attacked Iran's the Southern Pars gas field, the largest in the world. Gas flows to Iraq were halted. Gas flows from Iran count for 40% of the Iraq's supply of natural gas. So, obviously, this is going to cripple both Iran and Iraq. Iran has now said that because of this attack, they are going to counterattack, and saying that all upstream, what they call upstream, that's production. So what are they attacking? They're attacking areas that gas and oil are being produced. Now, this attack in particular was a gas field, and a big one, and essentially shutting it off. And obviously, right, if Iran can't sell gas to Iraq, they can't get that money, right? That's kind of, the pro and con, I guess, to all of this. Well, the Iranians are saying, well, since you've decided to do this, we are now going to target upstream production in both oil and natural gas. And oil probably being the key statement in all of this. There are three big targets. If these targets get hit, we're going to have a problem. Just telling you, if you think things are expensive right now, they will get a lot worse. What are they? The first one is in Qatar. The Ra-Lafan refinery. This is they have two different major refiners there. These are oil refiners. And then they have the Masid Petrochemical Complex. This is where they make other stuff that you need oil for. Whether that's fertilizers, plastics, other solvents, all that kind of stuff. That's in Qatar. In Saudi Arabia, the Samref refinery, and then obviously the Jabal Petrochemical Complex. Boy, I hope they don't hit it. Especially that refinery. That is huge. That would be millions and millions of barrels of oil. And then in the UAE, the gas fields in the UAE. So those are what we're going to watch for and see if those attacks start happening. The Qatar foreign minister, apparently Qatar not very happy today, saying that the attack on the South Pars gas fields, dangerous and irresponsible. But Jason, we'll see. We always said this, right? Is this going to become a real war? Are they going to actually start attacking things like this, which is start taking out the production? My guess, this is just my guess, I think Iran's going to respond. And I would think our response will be, we're going to take that island out next, right? I mean, I don't know, right? I mean,
wait and see.
Right? We'll see. I don't know.
Wait and see. I mean, we can't tell. I mean, let's go back to the first Gulf War, the second Gulf War against Iraq. That was blowing everything up. Well, I'm not seeing that here. Now, I don't think Iran is doing so well that they can keep the United States Air Force out of the air and bombing everything. But we're not bombing everything. Why aren't we bombing? If this is the evil enemy, then why aren't we bombing everything like we normally do when we take a country out? Venezuela was hit a couple of specific targets, went in there and vacuumed a guy out of there, and it was all nice and tidy, right? Now here we got Iran, where it's this nice little, okay, you take a punch, and it's almost like what is that in boxing when it's not a real match when they maybe they wear the headgear.
It's an exhibition.
It's an exhibition, right?
It's Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
I know Creed died during the exhibition.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's going way back. Yeah.
That was supposed to be an exhibition, and it got worse. Maybe that's what we got here. Maybe we got Creed versus Drago. The Russian Drago came in there and kills Creed. Maybe it's supposed to be an exhibition, but maybe it won't be an exhibition. Maybe we're there. But the whole point is, this doesn't look the same as these other things where we blow a nation's infrastructure to the Stone Age and then see if we can, a war of attrition. That's what happened in Iraq. It's a war of attrition. You just wore them out, took out everything else. How long can a population live without running water and electricity and things that you need, right? Well, that's not what they're doing here. Iran is being held. It's a soft hand when it comes to real targets being taken out. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Iran is doing so well defending their nation, and our attack is so soft and easy to defend that there's an apprehension. Hey, we'd better not take stuff out because they can more than hit us back. And so it's like, well, like I said before, if you hit someone, they punch you back. If you hit someone, they punch you back. If you can't take the punch back, then you stop punching, right? I don't know, Joe. Well, we're going to find out, I guess.
Yeah, we're going to find out.
No, sir. Yes, ma'am. By God.
All right, 800-951-0592. The big sale today, and it's just because it's going to be the cheapest price, and it's going to be $10 Liberties, and it is going to be really heated up here. 1 through 9, $25.50. So you're going to save $100. By the way, 2 10s, essentially $100 less than a $20 gold piece today. But wait, there's more. If you buy 10 or more, $25.40. $25.40 if you buy 10 or more. So you're buying $10 Liberties for under $5,100 an ounce at 800-951-0592. U.S. Silver Eagles today, $17.75. So you got two options to choose from, and man, it's going to be awfully interesting what they have to say this afternoon as far as what they're going to do about inflation, what's going on with the war, how big is this problem going to be. We did have a very confusing report. Let me just tell you what's happening on why gas prices are going to go through the roof. So oil inventories here. Remember, I told you we got a lot of oil here. Both the API and the Department of Energy, 6 million barrels more in storage than last week. Now, this is not the strategic reserve. I'm not talking about that. Okay. Plus 6 million. Problem is, gasoline down over 5 million. How can that be? Why weren't we refining? Remember what I've been telling you. The refiners are like, wait a minute, you want me to pay how much? Nah, I'll just make less because I'm not paying it. The thing that worries me here, Jason, is for gas, because we shouldn't see this, right? We should have seen maybe crude stocks are up 1 million barrels, right? And everything else pretty even. What would gas prices be if the refiners had paid this price? That's what we don't know. And seemingly to me, like I've been telling you, I think everybody needs to prepare because $5 gas is here. It's going to be here. Obviously, It doesn't look like we're going to do we taught you a big lesson. You're lucky. We're gonna let you live, so to speak, and we'll take our ball and go home. And instead, it looks like overnight we've upped the ante again. And the picture being painted here, like I said, in Asia, they are paying up to $150 a barrel for crude oil because if they want it today, that's what it's going to cost in the cash market. And then here in the U.S., the refiners just simply said, screw it, I'm not going to pay it. And they actually refined less gas, creating another problem, right? A shortage that shouldn't be.
False scarcity, right, Joe?
Right? Right? Now, unless they're like, well, we didn't do it because we need to mix the NYMEX crude, the U.S. crude, with some heavier crude, and it just seems like the refiners, maybe they were taking a gamble. Hey, we think we believe it's going to be over any day now. And it's not, and now I got a bad feeling in the next 3, 4, 5 days we're going to see another big jump in gas prices in the United States.
Let me see here. I'm sure you already did the where oil is today. It's above 100, right?
Yeah, well, NYMEX 99 and change, Brent crude 109, unleaded gas up 10 cents. $3.22. So yesterday it was up 13. Unleaded gas is up almost 25 cents in less than 48 hours.
They're doing a really nice job keeping it in that 90 range. You know, it popped up to 120. They cooled that off nice and easy. It's almost like it's manufactured, Joe. We'll see. I mean, if we see 200, then there's something's gotten out of control. But are we going to get there?
I will say this. If there's a strike on any of the three fields that I brought up earlier, we're going to see everything 100, well over 100, and NYMEX could we see 150? I mean, I'm still saying I think we could see 150, especially if they hit the Saudi Arabia, because that one particular field, if my memory serves me right, don't quote me on this, but I think it's like 6 million barrels a day, like by far the biggest. Like that one is like that's the granddaddy. Now maybe Iran holds off and says, if you don't blow up our island, we won't blow up the Saudi deal, and maybe they'll hit Qatar or the UAE, but still, it's going to be less oil and less gas. And I'm watching natural gas is still well behaved. It's over $3, but it's only up, put it this way, natural gas is up the least today. It's only up a little over 1%, where oil's up 3 to 5%, unleaded gas up another 3%. So we'll see what happens.
If you really want, this was a real war, as we keep saying, hurting the dollar, right? Take out that oil field in Saudi Arabia, boy, is that going to hurt the dollar. None of that can be sold in dollars. All that Saudi Arabian oil no longer sold in dollars. Talk about crashing the dollar, but they're not hitting it. So once again, very interesting. Why do I get the feeling, however long this takes, whether it's a year or it's a couple of months, why do I get the feeling it all ends with no sanctions on Iran? And at that point, you can call this war a manufactured falsity, and that'll probably be somewhere around the time where we're raising the rates and trying to knock down the inflation that's been caused, Joe.
So, and lastly here, we've now we talked about the Jones Act, I think, last week.
Yep.
Which just simply allows any ship to dump whatever they want in the ports. They have now extended this by waiving that act for 60 days. I mean, to me, that says the war is going on, right? For a lot longer. So, yeah. Guys, $10 Liberty, $25.50, 10 or more, $25.40. Rolls of Silver Eagle, $17.75. When we get back, though, we're going to shift gears and talk some Texan coin. We'll be right back. 800-951-0580. 9 to Patriot News Hour. We'll see what happens later this afternoon. Tomorrow, obviously, we'll talk about anything Jay Powell had to say. We don't anticipate any changes here. I think people will be looking for are any rate cuts on the table. Again, I don't think it matters. Jay Powell's got one more meeting left, and then he is gone. But really, I think it'll all be this escalation now between the United States and Israel, with Iran in starting to attack upline production. And that's a big problem, right? Because that just now says even more barrels will come offline, the barrels that don't have to go through the Strait of Hormuz from Saudi, Qatar, and the UAE appear now to be going to be targeted by Iran. So we'll watch all of that. $10 liberties. Think about it, we had a great sale all last week at $26.50, which was phenomenal. It's $100 lower, $25.50, 10 or more, $25.40. And then Silver Eagles, $17.79. This is the lowest price. I'll have to look. I mean, since the run, right? I mean, this is much lower than when silver got to like $70, $72. Much lower price. $17.75 on U.S. Silver Eagles at 800-951-0592. So for those of you that missed the beginning of the show, very positive news on the Texas cease and desist. The court date later than we wanted, but it's going to be August 17th. There is a chance we're going to be filing a lot of the evidence in the next couple of weeks that the state of Texas may have a change of heart and say, okay, yeah, you guys are fine, keep going. We can hope for that. Most likely, though, they'll say, let's just make sure. We'll have to wait for August. But the SEC yesterday came out with a lot more clarity on cryptos, and all of it, kind of what we already said. Pretty much the SEC said these things aren't securities. So who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and they'll do that for us. But I don't think that, I'll be honest with you, the people, not me, because I don't know, I'm nervous like you guys, but the people that were in the know on this kind of felt all along that this was not going to be a big issue. We did find out Texas isn't seeking any damages. They're not seeking any penalties. They're essentially saying, hey, we think it's a security. Prove to us it isn't. So let's positive on that front. Some negatives, obviously, Token 2049, that's the big crypto event. It was supposed to be in Dubai, along with the yacht party, the polo event, right? We were big sponsors. We were going to have the Tate brothers there. All of that has been canceled because of the war. And Token 2049, they've rescheduled it for next year. So they're not even going to try to do it later this year. So that's kind of a bummer. I don't know how big of a deal that is. It's nice and all that stuff, but I know that it'd have been pretty cool having the Tate brothers there and promoting Iskander and Texas Coin and all of that. But, in the scheme of things, not really a big deal. The software company that was doing all of the software for the processing of downtown digital dollars, they're in Dubai. And everything is dark there. So We're waiting for the actual software itself. They're supposed to send that to us for that to be going. We have more downtown digital dollar events ready to come on. We will not announce them until everything is set to go. But we do need the software, obviously, because that makes the hardware work. So that hopefully can happen whether the war's going or not. We think it should be. They should be able to do that. So let's hope that happens. And then lastly, on the coin payouts for Texas Coin, tomorrow everything will be fixed. And everybody will get all missing or remaining coins. Some people, me being one of them, I got paid way too many coins. My wife didn't get any, right? So, that was kind of how this went. There was some computer programming stuff that glitched, but there is a big change now. When you go into your dashboard now, you get redirected to a new dashboard. There's no more pyramids, no more trees, no more stuff like that, because none of that stuff matters anymore. But you do have your Texas Coin rewards and now your Iskander rewards. The Iskander rewards are not there yet, but let's just say by the next update they will be. And all Iskander commissions are going to get paid this week for those of you that have any of those. But when we get back, I got one more big update, and it's a good one. We'll talk about that next. (800-951-0592). Wrapping this up here as we wait for the Fed. Big pullback in gold and silver today. Great opportunities. $10 gold pieces. 1 through 9, 25.50. 10 or more, 25.40. Rolls of U.S. silver eagles all the way down to 17.75 at 800-951-0592. And wrapping up some Texas Coin news, some really good news. First, if you probably haven't noticed, but CoinMarketCap continues to raise our profile score. We are now to 79%. My guess is when the cease and desist goes away, we will be hopefully fully capped as a legitimate project on CoinMarketCap. The higher the score, the better. We've been at 53 for the most of the time I've been in the project. It actually jumped up earlier, either late. I noticed it, I think, on Monday that it had jumped up. We have provided a lot of detail to CoinMarketCap. That is a huge positive. And then lastly, probably the biggest one. We have been testing this. This has been testing all week. We are getting ready to, we've made some significant changes in the servers. We've been having, as you guys know, issues with coin production. It's been in the 80,000 range, should be well over 100,000. In addition, we will start mining Doge and Litecoin, and we know at about a 5-cent electric charge, from the utilities, the mines will be profitable when we mine Doge and Litecoin. We think that conversion is going to happen anytime in the next 48 hours or so. We should see several things happen. Number one, obviously we'll start mining Litecoin, Dogecoin, Texas Coin, and Iskander Coin. Number two, which will make the mines profitable. Number two, we should see much better performance out of the existing mines, which means we should start seeing a lot more coins every day that the mine is producing. And obviously, running at maximum efficiency obviously will produce more Lite and Dogecoin. And then one other thing with Iskander, because, Texas, we got some, with Texas Coin, we got hard rules. Mine's got to be built in Texas, right? We got to have it set up in Texas. With Iskander Coin, we don't have that. And there are a lot of places in the world where mining is very inexpensive. We will be getting our Iskander mine up and running way faster than we did with Texas Coin. And it couldn't happen at a better time because we'll know right from the get-go, these mines will be profitable right from the get-go. So a lot of good momentum. Obviously, the Dubai thing stinks, but outside of that, a lot of good things happening with Texas Coin and Iskander.